Ever wondered why the housing market seems to be on an unstoppable climb? As we delve into the enigma that is the housing market, it's impossible not to notice the surge in housing prices. According to the U.S. Census Bureau and the National Association of Realtors, the median sales price of new houses sold in the United States has increased by a staggering 20% in the past year. That's right, 20%. This rapid escalation may leave you wondering, what's fueling this extraordinary growth? Well, it's a combination of factors including low mortgage rates, a dwindling supply of homes, and a surge in demand. It's almost as if the stars have aligned in favor of a seller's market. But as we all know, what goes up must come down, or does it? So the question on everyone's mind, is this sustainable, or are we heading for a fall? Stay tuned as we unravel the mystery of the housing market. To understand where we're headed, we need to understand what's driving these prices up. Let's start with the low interest rates. The Federal Reserve has kept interest rates at historic lows for the past few years. This makes borrowing cheaper, and when borrowing is cheap, people are more willing to take on debt, like a mortgage for instance. This increased demand pushes housing prices up. Then there's urbanization. As more people flock to cities for jobs and opportunities, there's increased demand for housing in these areas. But as anyone who's tried to find an apartment in a bustling city knows, there's often not enough housing to go around. This scarcity can drive prices up substantially. And of course, we can't overlook the lack of housing supply. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development reports that we're currently facing a significant shortage of homes. Simply put, there are more people who want to buy homes than there are homes available. And when supply can't keep up with demand, prices rise. So, we have low interest rates making borrowing cheaper, urbanization increasing demand in cities, and a lack of housing supply causing scarcity. It's the perfect storm for a rise in housing prices. These factors have created a market that's hot, but is it too hot? Predicting the future isn't easy, but we can glean some insights from the experts. When it comes to the housing market, there are a multitude of factors at play, and the predictions are as varied as the experts themselves. According to the Urban Land Institute, we could be seeing a slowdown in the skyrocketing prices we've been experiencing. They point to economic elements such as rising interest rates and tighter lending standards as potential brakes on the housing price train. On the other hand, Zillow's experts predict a slight increase in prices, albeit at a slower pace than we have seen in the past few years. They attribute this to the persistent demand and the currently low supply of houses. So, what does this mean for the average home buyer or investor? It's a mixed bag, really. It seems the wild ride of the housing market may start to calm down. But don't expect prices to plummet dramatically overnight. While the future isn't set in stone, it seems the consensus is leaning towards a cooling down, not a crash. So, what does this mean for you, the potential home buyer? Let's get right into it. The purchasing decision is deeply personal and depends largely on your financial circumstances. The trick is not to get swept up in the national trends, but to pay close attention to the local market conditions. Why, you ask? Well, the housing market varies greatly from one locale to another. A city experiencing a tech boom might see skyrocketing prices, while another city with a declining population could witness a slump. It's crucial to consider these local nuances before making a decision. Now, let's talk about some key data. Freddie Mac, one of the big players in the U.S. mortgage market, predicts modest growth in home prices over the next year. On the other hand, the Mortgage Bankers Association suggests a slight slowdown in the pace of home price increases. What does this tell us? The housing market is a complex beast, influenced by a multitude of factors. The economic climate, interest rates, housing supply, and even political decisions can sway the market in unpredictable ways. But fear not, potential home buyers. Though the path may seem daunting, knowledge is your most potent tool. Stay informed about the market trends, understand your financial position, and don't hesitate to seek professional advice. In the end, the housing market will always have its ups and downs, but being informed will help you navigate it with confidence.